to like hone your skills, and hopefully, this is an open space to share ideas, right? Okay, so let's get started. The topics that we're going to cover for today are the leagues that you can play in, the teams of three. Ooh, let me change this. Um, the leagues that you can play in. We're going to talk about teams of three, shields usage, move, switch, timers, and like the resources that you can have. Okay, but again, brief, very brief introduction. We'll go more into detail for each of these topics, like maybe next week or something. Okay, so here we go. Leagues, right? If you're familiar with the Go Battle leagues and PvP in general, you'll know that there's three different leagues that we're going to be focusing on, right? Great League, Ultra League, and Master League. Right now, Go Battle League is starting in Great League for the preseason. So great introduction for new battlers, new trainers. The difference between each of the leagues are the CP that you can use for each of the Pokemon, right? Now, because of this limitation, there are definitely Pokemon that you can't use. For example, Mewtwo, right? Mewtwo is definitely a no-no in Great League because it doesn't get to 1500 CP, right? For Mewtwo, like you can basically use it for Master League, and I believe if you catch it like during a raid, it doesn't even get to well, does it? Can you use it for Ultra League? I guess you can, but it's not going to be that great. So you won't be able to use it for Great League, right? So no Mewtwo there. So you got to keep this in mind, right? Okay. Once you decide what league you're gonna start in, right? You're gonna pick teams of three. Okay. So here we are, right? You pick your teams, and then the first Pokemon on your left. That's the Pokemon that you're gonna start with, entering into the battle, and we call that the lead. Okay. So anytime you hear battlers talking about leads, we mean the very first Pokemon that's starting the match. This is the Pokemon that's gonna set the tone for the match. It's really the Pokemon that you want to use for your playstyle, right? If you like fast charge moves, or if you like Pokemon that are like big walls, big tanks, this is the Pokemon that's gonna like tell everyone this is your playstyle, right? And then with that, you have to also understand your Pokemon's weakness, and that's where the other two Pokemon on your team comes in. These are called the back coverage. Okay, they basically cover your lead weaknesses and also provide general coverage. Right. So, for example, here I have Probopass. One of its main weakness is Swampert. Right. So Swampert is weak to grass. That's why I have Venusaur. Right. But then Venusaur is also weak to flying and like psychics, right? So maybe Noctowl could provide some general coverage with that. So this is a decent team of three, but as we get more and more practice, we're gonna be hopefully developing better teams of threes. Next up, gameplay. So this is the type of gameplay that you're going to be witnessing in Go Battle League, right? Here we have like the number of shields. You get 2 per game. Be very careful of how you use these shields. You want to, protect your Pokemon that aren't so defense heavy, but you also don't want to use your shields too early because then you can't defend yourself later on, right? Okay, we have teams of 3. We also have, the health bar, right? The health bar to indicate our Pokemon, we'll call it HP bar. We also have the switch button. Okay, more on that in a little bit. And we have the moves of the Pokemon. So fast moves, okay, deals damage and generates energy. You may have noticed when you're tapping on the screen, right? You're tapping and tapping. Your Pokemon is dealing the fast move as well as generating energy for your 2 charge moves. If you don't have 2 charge moves, don't worry. Maybe think about investing into a second charge move because really these 2 charge moves provide coverage. right? Like, look at this. Swampert, okay, he's weak to grass, right? Water doesn't do so much to grass, but ground could. Okay, so this is something that it would provide Swampert with better coverage. What else do I have to say about this? That's pretty much it. Everything on the screen, right? Everything's there. Okay, good. Next up, the charge move. So you may have noticed when you use a charge move, right? There's these element icons. This is what we're gonna, be calling them from now on. Element icons. You tap the element icons. The more that you tap on, the more that you hit, the more damage that you do. There are situations where you might not want to like deal as much damage, and we're gonna get into that later. More advanced gameplay. Okay, next up are timers. This is actually, I would say, the most important thing for new battlers and trainers to understand the timing of the game. Okay, so here we go. The first timer that you should be aware of is the charge move timer. Okay, you actually have 5 seconds to react. Okay, when you're on defense, that means you have 5 seconds to decide whether or not you want to use a shield. Okay, so you might think 5 seconds is not that long, but it actually is a really long time if you just, take a step back and then, watch the screen and think about what your opponent's charge moves are and how much they can deal damage to you, right? So, for example here, Lapras, its charge moves are Surf, Skull Bash, Ice Beam, if it has Ice Beam, and Celio, since it's also a water ice type, it's going to resist the surf, right? And it's going to double resist the ice moves. So maybe you don't want to use a shield, right? If you're anticipating a surf. When you're on offense, okay, you get to tap the elemental icons to achieve nice to excellent. So we've talked about that before. The next timer is the faint timer, okay? When your Pokemon, oh, who gave me a follow? Oh, Nathan, thanks for the follow. Okay, faint timer. Okay, when your Pokemon faints, you actually have 12 seconds to choose the next Pokemon. Wait out this 12 seconds. For a lot of new battlers, this is the most essential thing that you can have, okay? Because these 12 seconds, if you thought 5 seconds was long, these 12 seconds will feel like an eternity. And the thing about this is that you really want to like pace yourself, okay? Each match is going to go by so fast, and this is your time to like take a little break and collect yourself and think about who you want to send out, okay? It's not going to be an easy choice, but you do have enough time, so pace yourself, okay? Okay, the switch clock. Okay, when you hit the switch button, right, and you switch to a new Pokemon, you actually have 60 seconds to be locked in with your new Pokemon. Okay, oh, who gave me a follow? Scarrick, thanks for the follow. Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah, okay. The switch clock counts down from 60 seconds, which will be indicated here. Okay, it's an analog clock. And the thing is, you have 60 seconds to like use different strategies, try to break your opponent's shields, try to feint your opponent, right? This 60 seconds is the most crucial 1 minute that you have in the game. Okay, so make sure that whatever you're switching into wisely, as well as who gave me a follow? Indigo, hey, thanks for the follow. Whatever you're switching to, make sure that you're switching into it wisely, as well as you have to be sure that you have enough resources to like feint your Pokemon, feint the opponent's Pokemon, as well as take advantage. Okay. Next, start timer. A lot of people are going to, I want to say, not even think about the start timer, and this is actually the most crucial thing in the game right now with PvP. You get 3 seconds before the match begins, okay? 3 seconds. You get to see your lead, you get to see your opponent's lead, and in that 3 seconds, you have to decide whether or not your lead has an advantage over your opponent, and you have to either anticipate a switch from your opponent or perform a switch yourself. Okay, and you get 3 seconds to decide that. So you gotta like make a fast decision right then and there, but even before the match begins, right? So this is a crucial thing that a lot of battlers have to keep in mind. End timer. Okay. For every match, there's 4 minutes, right? It's not really indicated, but it will be right here. And that clock will appear with 20 seconds left, right? So that's when you know, oh shoot, I have 20 seconds left in the match and I gotta like win this, or else it's going to end up either in a draw or it's going to end in a situation that you don't want to be in. For example, the player with the most Pokemon alive wins the match, right? So if your opponent had 2 and you had 1, but those 2 Pokemon had like, barely any health left, they still win, right? Your opponent will still win. Or the Pokemon with the most HP will win if you and your opponent had 1-1. So definitely keep in mind that your matches are 4 minutes long. Oh, before Don, yeah, if you have questions, ask them. What's the question? Sorry. Is it HP amount or HP percentage? HP is the amount. Let me go back. Yeah, definitely here. Yeah, HP is definitely the amount left. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the question. Okay. What's next? Oh, next. Okay, resources. These are the different types of resources that you can have. One of the best resources that you can have at your disposal is PvPoke.com. What's funny was the server actually went down earlier today because of Trainer Tips. So shout out to Trainer Tips for crashing the server like he always does. PvPoke, you can use this to check top ranked Pokemon, check to see who are the best leads, and overall Pokemon that you can use. Check out different leagues, right? So we'll take an example out of that, like here. Let me show you. PvPoke. Here we go. Here's PvPoke. Can I refresh? Great. Go to rankings. Okay. So for Great League, for example, you might have seen already Great League, Altaria, Azumarill, right? These are like top ranked Pokemon that you'll see, and it's because it's recommended by PvPoke. You can also see from PvPoke how great it is as a lead, as a closer, as an attacker. You can see the different moves that Altaria can have, right? And even like the recommended moves. You can see the key matchups. See that you don't want to bring a Tropius into an Altaria because Altaria is just gonna, win that match, right? Top counters. As you may know, Altaria is a dragon and flying type, so it's going to be weak to ice and charm, right? Or fairy types. So the top counters are going to be, the fairy types, right? So this is something that you want to, keep track of. You can also see, if you click this, Altaria versus all Pokemon, you get to see how well Altaria stands up against all Pokemon in the Great League meta, right? So this is something that, great resource and something that you battlers just want to like keep track of. You can see all the matches and see how well they do. So let's check one. How about what's like a prominent matchup? Azumarill. How about Altaria versus Azumarill? Right. If we click that, you can visualize the matches even before doing them yourself. Right. You can see that it takes track of fast moves. It takes tracks of charge moves. It might even take track of like how many shields you want to use, right? And it even gives you all these different situations. So here's like Altair using one shield and Azumarill not using shields at all, and you'll see that Altair is going to win. Yeah. Okay. So PvPoke, great resource. Now you may be wondering, you're doing these battles and you're like, man, I wish I had this Pokemon. I wish I had this different type of move. And you may be questioning yourself, is that move going to be good or not, right? So here's what you can do, right, is use PvPoke's training simulator. So I'm gonna demonstrate what this training simulator does, right? Let's see, hit refresh. Nope, don't want to do that. Okay, train. What PvPoke has developed, right? Or Matt is amazing guy, is you can pick out your Pokemon, right? Like here, Altaria, add. Let's see, Azumarill, add. Even changes matches. Let's say Bastiodon, right? Definitely a Pokemon that you want to have, but definitely also super costly, right? And then let's see. Does he have it? Yes, he does. Go Battle League, right? And then you can train. When you hit battle, right? You can just tap on the screen and just battle with the computer and the AI. Oh man, here we go. And then you can check out whether or not your Pokemon is going to be good. Do I want to shield this? No, because I know it has Surf. Mud Bomb, see, not going to do much damage, right? This is a great way for new battlers to train without investing. Oh, that's got to be another Mud Bomb. Without investing Stardust, right? Without investing TMs or resources. So use this to your advantage, but please, don't. No, tap. Okay. Don't break the server. Trainer tips. I know you're watching. I hope you're watching. But yeah, use this to your advantage. It's going to be a great, amazing resource for everyone. Okay, you can even pause the match, right? And if you mess up, hit restart. Do the match over. Play to your advantage, right? This is a way for you to train, a way for new battlers to get better and hone their skills, right? Great resource. Okay, and ooh, sorry. Yeah, great way to visualize your wins and your losses. And that's it. So if you love this video, follow me on Twitter, hit that like button, share it to your friends, send it out to everyone. And can I train with Pokemon? I have, Pikachu, yes. So your question is, can you train with Pokemon that you have exact IVs for? So yeah, let's check it out. So here's Altaria, right? And you can change the IVs, right? You want to say, what are your IVs for Altaria? Like 4, 10, I don't know, 15, right? And then level 28, hit that save button. 867. Okay, 867. So let's change that. 8, 6, 7. Yeah, that's it, right? Save and then hit battle, and you're good to go. Before dawn, is outlasting the battle timer a viable tactic? At least ever since they decreased the time, because I heard that Shuckle versus or Wobbuffet. Oh, okay. So your question is, do you want to stall the match? It's a viable tactic, but it's very risky too, right? Because so Shuckle, I would say that it has a lot of defense, but it's also still weak to fighting, right? And fighting is very prominent in Go Battle League, or yeah, in Go Battle League, because you have Medicham, you also have like Registeel with fighting moves, so it's hard to say, but it's definitely something that you can try. Yeah. Shuckle isn't weak to fighting. Oh, because I thought it was Rock. Okay. Yeah, low HP total. It's hard to say. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can definitely try it. Yeah. Oh yeah, Umbreon versus Suicune used to timeout. I definitely agree. I think this match right here on the screen was an Umbreon. Like there was a Suicune in this battle somewhere that I had, and then it just almost timed out here. I think this was the screenshot. Yeah. Oh, here's another thing that you can try on PvPoke if you love the resource is when you battle. So here, let's say you do single battles, right? And you do Altaria versus Azumarill, for example. You hit battle. Here's a great thing. It even tells you how long it takes for you to win. See that? Azumarill wins in 84 seconds. So this is actually something for like newcomers to like, keep track of maybe. For newcomers, can you explain the battle rating on PvPoke? Okay, yeah, battle rating. Okay, so here, right, it says Azumarill wins with a battle rating of 584. What that means is Azumarill, so any rating above 500 means that you're going to win. Anything below 500 means you're losing, and then if it's 500 exactly, it's a tie. Okay, so 584 means that you win, but you barely win, right? So see how Azumarill only wins with 31 HP? So that means like it barely won. But let's say, here, let's say Altaria, right? It wins with a battle rating of 817. That's because it has a lot of HP left at the very end. Okay, this is great questions. I'm loving the questions. Are there any more questions? What about baits? Baits. Okay, so that's something that we can get into more detail on. Can you show us that? That's something that I definitely want to get into in a different video, but I just wanted to show newcomers the resources that they can have, as well as, just trying to get started with the gameplay. Yeah, so definitely I'll show baits later. Oh, thank you for the follow. Okay. Resources, baits. Okay. Maybe talk about IVs next time. Super. Yeah. Okay. So Nathan, thanks for the advice or the tip. Next time, yeah, charge moves. If you guys want to talk about IVs, I can definitely talk about IVs as also. But I thought maybe charge moves would be a good starting place for the next video. IVs, I can definitely talk about that. I can definitely try to create something. Are there any questions before we end? Okay, well, thanks everyone for showing up to stream. I'm gonna stop the recording and put this up all on YouTube, hopefully. Yeah, thank you.